show is brought to you by DonkeyMadness.com.
Check out Donkey Madness for its high-quality apparel and decals.
Get your t-shirts and hats from DonkeyMadness.com.
That's DonkeyMadness.com.
Today's show is brought to you by Mad SNX. At MadSNX.com, they believe in simple pleasure of healthy snacking, and their mantra is clear. Be happy.
Eat mad.
Mad SNX aims to transform your hunger into happiness by offering you the highest quality, most delicious, high-protein spreads. From fun and bold flavors to wholesome goodness, their spreads are crafted to bring a smile to your face with every delicious bite. Join the madness because happiness and snacks go hand in hand.
MadSNX.com. For today's listeners, if you put Heroes20 in at checkout, you'll receive 20% off your purchase.
Be happy.
Eat mad.
At MadSNX.com.
Hello, welcome back to this episode of Everyday Heroes, brought to you by Cliff, Mike, Keith, and James, where today the boys will be interviewing Sarah Fisher. We're going to talk about her being a college athlete, her med school ambitions, her expertise and longevity, and her positive mindset too. So sit back and listen in while we yap.
The views and opinions of this podcast are solely based off the hosts and guests and are not associated with any agency, corporation, or LLC. Enjoy the show. I feel a beat coming on. Hit it, boys!
Mike's got the facts with a stern face. Cliff's cracking jokes just to keep the pace. Together they tackle the big and the small.
Everyday Heroes standing tall. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, man? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
Oh, dude. It's been a weekend, man.
Oh, it's been a long weekend.
Dude, for some of the viewers out there, we've glammed up the studio in efforts to look
more professional.
That's exactly the word I was going for. So we have a really special guest today. I'm really excited about this show. Like, especially for us middle-aged folks, like the things we're going to talk about today can directly help you have a quality, as we kind of enter the fourth quarter of life, how do we stay active? How do we keep going? How do we keep doing the things that we love? We're going to talk about it today with our guest, Sarah Fisher. Say hi, Sarah.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Sarah. So this being said, I'm so glad you're here today, because something happened. Mike and I were traveling down the road, and his dad was on the phone, and his dad says he doesn't know I'm in the car. His dad says, "Mike, Cliff's gaining weight. He's getting a little big." So,
Bless it.
I did not take offense. I was like, and then Mike's like, "Dad, he's in the truck."
Oh,
and his and his dad's like, "Oh, well, I just want him to live longer." And coming from a person where I am slightly overweight, like only 10 pounds.
I'd call that cuttable, man. You're cuddly, cuttable, huggable, cuddle-ish, cuttable.
Well, when you say cuttable's different. like where I come from, cut means that's like we're going to have a relationship.
Well, so
you like big girls. I feel you. I'm down with you.
I like to stay warm during the wintertime, man. That's all I got to say.
Well, I'll keep you warm, buddy.
Yeah.
You know that.
And with this, we got James from Arizona. James, what's going on, buddy?
Hey now, how's it going?
It's
hey,
good,
James.
Dude.
James is all the way from Arizona. He is our fact checker.
He's going to be doing the research for us to make sure that we're at least telling quasi-truths here. So James is going to be all over it today. What'd you do this weekend, James?
What did I do this weekend? I spent time with my kid, watched college football. With the new brackets, I'm not 100% agreeing on it, but had a good weekend, and here I am with everybody here, and we're having a good time. Thanks, Sarah, for joining us.
So what's up with Carolina not getting in?
Yeah.
What's up with that? Like strength of schedule means nothing now.
No. Here's the problem.
Yeah, ask Alabama.
Yeah. This is a problem when the committee picks, right? There's some good old boy networking happening there.
Yep.
For sure. And I do got to say, too, Notre Dame, just pick a conference already. All right. This easy. Let me just go ahead and go to a final because I'm not in a conference. I got some issues with that.
He's been talking about this for a while too.
You might have to stick with those issues.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot. James is a Notre Dame.
He's a
Notre Dame has been the football program has been independent forever since the inception. However, most of the other sports in Notre Dame have gone to the ACC. So I don't know. I'm not happy with that. I wish they would be independent, but that's not. I don't have enough money to say anything else. So. But yeah, I think you guys are right. It's all about who you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sarah, do you follow college football at all?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I thought we were playing basketball this time.
No. We're coming towards the end of football.
I'm so confused. I'm sorry. No, I do not.
Oh, it's okay. Do you follow any type of sports?
I'm happy for people who follow sports.
But do you personally follow?
No, sir.
Wait, so
who booked this person? How can we talk about this?
I can't. As a college athlete, you watch sports with a different eye. It's a bit of a different experience.
I can understand. I mean, not as being a college athlete, but I can understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad Sarah's here because we're going to talk about health. Something I really need to do. My doctor's going to straighten me out in the new year. He told me, don't do anything till the new year. I don't want you going through the holidays.
So are you going ham?
No, he don't want me to go ham. He's afraid I'll have some adverse side effect, which means I'm alcoholic. But so I'm glad she's here because Pilates is something I've had a lot of pie and a lot of lattes. so I'm down. I know what you're going to talk about.
Oh, indeed. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm not an exercise physiologist, nor am I a doctor at all. They didn't let me in. So.
But you have a pretty extensive background in health and physical fitness and stuff like that. Like self-taught, right? Like you're very passionate about.
Yeah, I do have. I have the kind of brain and mind to be able to dive into what these people are talking about. When they get into the deeply biological systems and the mechanisms and the molecules involved and all these little tiny scenarios, I can dissolve that speak and laymanize it for everyone.
Coming from a person that actually does have a certificate in I have
pie eating?
No. I have a certificate. If you ask Julie, she'll say she earned it for me. But in fitness, so I used to be a spin instructor.
Go ahead.
And I did get a certificate in nutrition, which I know micro and macro. I'm just not willing to put any of that in play in my own life.
Into practice.
Right. Thank
it can be
you,
tough,
Sarah.
yes.
Yeah. But
so you rock up a discipline.
Yes. I like a discipline. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, because obesity really, like America has a fundamental issue with this. I mean, James, how much of the United States is obese? Like I know that
50%.
Like a lot of the southern states, like I think Texas was number one. I know the South, and it's based on culture and food intake.
Only 6% of Americans are metabolically healthy. Everyone else is unfortunately failing.
Yeah, I think.
So where do I fall in? Am I the?
Let's pull your labs. We'll see.
Don't do that. I don't want you to know I got like some kind of disease.
No. Yeah, but I know like Colorado, I think is the last state that's on average below the obesity line if you use just strictly BMI, which is not the best method, but I mean it's an okay metric to kind of go off of. But every other state in the union as of now is technically by average obese.
So, and that's something I wanted to. You got it, James?
Yeah, it's according to the CDC between 2000, not this year, but 2021 and 2023, 40.3% of the U.S. is obese. That's just under half.
What state's number one? South Carolina.
Why do you say that? Because we fry everything.
Yes. But there was a podcast where you said, you look at me like I was like, just fry it. And you're like, you looking at me because you'd probably eat it.
So the highest rate is West Virginia.
No way.
And the lowest rate is
Colorado.
D.C.
What?
Oh, Washington.
Look at that small.
Yeah, but that's still not.
You think it's the
That's still over 25%. That's the 25%. It's still a quarter of the country. Quarter of the rate of the country. So
That's crazy.
That is
40
crazy, yeah.
Well, that's why you see. I think we were kind of talking about it the other day. Like you see this boom in Ozempic and using these peptides to try to lose weight because, let's face it. Like the gym is intimidating for a lot of people, and I'm sure when we start talking, Sarah will probably talk about getting people in the gym, just getting over that initial fear of walking through the door.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to ask also, because as a person that has done a semaglutide, which didn't help me at all because I drank and ate right through it.
That's impressive.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. I told you this, right? The doctor's like, so how do you feel when you take it? I was like, I get nauseous and I just eat. I'm trying to eat out of nausea, and I've done it.
Well, that's the thing. There's a thing called the Ozempic pukes. That's a thing.
That's what I'm saying. I felt so bad on this stuff after like week 3. I'm like, oh man, who wants to live like this? I'd rather be fat, dude.
Nope. Yep.
Damn, going to the gym. That's what I need. So we do go to the gym every now and then.
Well, we've fallen off.
Which gym do you go to?
We actually do a little boutique gym
Yep.
that's probably about 10 minutes from here, 10, 15 minutes from here.
Are you going to drop their name?
We're actually trying to have him on. And then once we have him on, because he's also really big into, there's more to it than just eating and working out. Like he's real big into the genetics and like how to optimize your body at a cellular level to become efficient. He's very similar. So
Love it. Speaking my language.
Mm-hmm. So we are having him on and, probably a couple episodes from now. So it's not like back to back.
Let it be back to back.
You think?
Yeah.
You think?
Let him pick me apart. I'm not an expert. 2 heads are always better than
No,
one.
he wouldn't do that.
No, I don't mean in a bad way. I mean in a good way. The more, the merrier. Let's build, right?
But he's 60, probably 60 some years old. Looks like a 20-year-old.
You get that old, you look like that. You know what you're doing.
Yeah,
He's ripped to shreds, kind of like me, but he's probably like 10 pounds less.
just like
than
Cliff.
me. Yeah. What do you mean by that?
I mean, just I'm
like
disagreeing.
Yeah, thanks. If Tim, if you see this, then you heard
Peak
what
male performance.
You're doing great, Tim.
This
Keep it up.
Yeah, but no, he's like, I was talking to him, and we could go more into this, but I was like, what's your diet like? He's like, I eat like a dog. I have the same meal every day, over and over, and it's really illustrating the discipline versus what's that graph where you have it's not ambition. Motivation. So you have motivation, it starts high and it kind of goes down and twiddles and nothing. But then you have discipline, which is a low hump, but just keeps going and going and going.
I mean, that too, but you're also having like reward pathways. If you eat better, you feel better.
Yeah.
And after the 60th day of eating better, you're made of just the better stuff. So your body wants to eat more of the better stuff.
Damn. So I'm going to, for 60 days, I'm going to be Pizza Hut, dude.
Well, you told me to order Pizza Hut. I was trying to order salad, Sarah. I'll be honest.
Pizza was a food group.
Well, I mean, it's all, I'm not going to, okay, well, it's all just molecules. That's it. That's all it is. When you break it down, you break everything, when your stomach breaks it all down, it's just molecules. You are just 3D printed from the last 400 days of stuff that you ate. So the better the stuff you eat, the better you feel, the better your body works.
So, how do you get somebody like 4 times smarter than us on the show?
You've thought of
She's
that
a
before.
super brain.
It didn't just. It just. Didn't
I've
stick.
never
We're gonna get
thought
it
of
to
that,
stick.
Sarah. I was like, I just eat because it makes me happy.
You're not a thing. You're a process. You're just an experiment of the last 800 days. That's all you are.
Oh,
So the next 800 days that you got, you make it count. You're gonna be a brand new freaking person.
that's a great way to. That's a great way to
Message.
put it, dude.
All right. Well, before we start deep
Sorry,
diving
I
into all
got
this,
super-
no, it's
No,
great.
you're doing great,
Yeah.
man.
No, I love it.
Awesome.
Let's learn a little bit about you. So, you are not native to South Carolina.
I'm not. I was born in a small town in Missouri called Rolla. And there, when I was born, like 8,000 people. There's more there now. Yeah, that's where I was. I spent the whole, it's just a small little town in Missouri. Bunch of, it's not a big city. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then the people in the city are not big city people.
Yeah.
They're small city people.
So was there a lot of the small town drama like we kind of have in these little small towns in South
Yeah,
Carolina?
yeah.
Everybody knows what's going on.
Everybody knew everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
And they were all in church.
Oh yeah.
judging each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So what brought you to South Carolina?
I wanted to get away from there.
Okay.
It was my ticket out.
It was like time to go.
I was never gonna stay there. I was just never. I mean, I knew from a very young. I love my family. I always will. But I was never, ever, never. I would never stay there. Could not.
So how old were you when you moved?
18. No. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, whenever you move off to college, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I got scouted. Well, so I played college. Well, okay. So I had to choose. They made me choose between track and soccer. I couldn't do both sports in school. And because I don't really do anything halfway, it was like, I'm going to do it all the way, right?
Yep.
So then I started playing club ball. My mom was driving me around to everywhere. We flew to Chicago, Atlanta, obviously lots of places in Missouri. And I got scouted out of Chicago by Newberry College, a little D2 school here. I got
Right
scouted
down
by
the road, yeah.
multiple different places, and I went and visited them all. And for different reasons, they didn't work out, but I went there.
Now, why Newberry? I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but I don't hear anybody like coming out of high school be like, "Hey, Newberry's here.
Go to Newberry.
I'm going to Newberry."
That's where I'm going.
Well, in Rolla, if you say I got a scholarship, it doesn't matter where that scholarship
that
was.
makes
Won.
sense. Yep.
Winner.
And they were like, "You're going to South Carolina?
What?
That's so far away." So actually, to be perfectly fair, I'm just a dime store, Ann Feltz. So I had a role model in high school. Her name was Ann Feltz, and she was the daughter of a doctor who we saw, and she had alopecia, and she played soccer like it was the last thing she was going to do on earth before she died. And she put everything into it. So whatever she did, if she ate buttered noodles, I ate buttered noodles. If she ran around on the soccer field in the middle of the cold trying to read a book, getting extra touches, guess what I was doing like 2 weeks after that? So she went to UNC. And then when I played club ball, I got the opportunity to watch her play at UNC. And that was 2 years before I signed with Newberry. And, I don't have UNC aspirations. I didn't see myself that high, right? I couldn't imagine myself at an Ivy League-ish.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I couldn't, my brain couldn't do that.
Major college.
Right, yeah. So, but I got scouted by Wofford. There's a place in Iowa, and then Newberry. And I chose Newberry because they were relatable and they wanted to talk to me. And the coach at Wofford was pregnant. She was a total B. And I couldn't stand her when I talked to her on the phone. So they just won me over. That's why I chose them.
That's interesting. So we go to university. What was your first year like? So you leave home, you show up, you're all by yourself for the first time, stand on your own 2 feet. Thoughts?
So I don't even know. Okay, so at that point, my grandmother had ALS. So when I left home, we didn't know it yet. She was breaking toes and doing all those symptomatic things that you get before it happens. And so when I left, it was like fly. Everybody was like, fly. You just fly. Like my parents were great. Nobody was like, you got to stay home, take care of me. You got to do this. They were like, fly as far as you can fly.
Go experience life.
And so when I got there, I had this like huge sense of responsibility. I was like, I got to do good by my people. Because Anne, so she did great as well. So like she got good grades. I mean, you never know when people do or don't, but she graduated with honors, I think. So I spent my first freshman year, my first 6 months in the library. So I would leave practice, or I would go to school, I'd leave practice. I thought I wanted to be a doctor. So I was majoring in biology. Turns out that's not really my thing, but we'll get to that in a minute. I have a biology brain, but I studied. I sat up there and I was like, this is perfect. I'm away from home. I can study. I can do whatever I want. I'm going to be so great. I'm going to be a doctor. And I just went from my dorm room to soccer to library, from my dorm room to soccer to library. And then somewhere in the summer, no, it was late winter. Sorry, because we started in the summer. It was late winter. There was a boy that walked into my biology class.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, this is
where
No. Wait.
This is where it starts.
It did. Yeah. Man, the sexes really just impede each other when it comes to dreams, doesn't it? So there was a guy in my chemistry class, and he was like, you got to meet this other guy. And I was like, Martin. He was my lab partner, and I was carrying him real hard. He was very heavy. And no, he's actually a thin guy.
I feel you.
He was a super thin guy, but I had to carry him so he introduced me to this other guy, and they're a part of it.
Sarah,
Yes, sir.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
No, I meant it figuratively, meaning he did nothing.
All right. Because my partner just said he knows how you felt carrying very heavy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Only on the pickleball court, man.
Yeah. Well.
But go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, not
So
only
you
am
meet
I
this
like
guy.
burning things, and I'm like, "God, shut!" Like you. Now we have to start over because you were talking. Like so, not only am I, but I hold him personally responsible for introducing my first college boyfriend to me, which I'm a giver. Like, I'm a giver in all the ways, but this way I'm meaning is like I got too far into that relationship, and so after that, then it was like, oh, I can go out to this party, or I can drink this a little bit, or I can eat these nachos, or I can eat those chicken wings, and it just went downhill from there. So then I gained that freshman 15, lost my 4.0. It's a 3.8, didn't go very far, but after that, I got a little bit of a different perspective because I stayed out till 3 a.m. a couple times, and after that, it was like I can do whatever I want, and I can still get pretty good grades, and they're gonna like me. I'm gonna be famous back home. This is great, and that's what I did.
Yeah. Do you think though you had to make that mistake to understand it and not duplicate it again?
If I had it to do over again, I'd make it the same mistake differently.
Yeah.
Like
Hindsight, yeah.
Then I got talked into chemistry. So I'm in biology, and I'm showing a great bit of resolve because there's biology and chemistry overlap. And this chemistry teacher, Dr. MacArthur, because I had to take organic 1, she was like, you don't need to do biology anymore. Actually, you need to drop that major and you need to pick up chemistry. You need to do this or else.
No, why would she say that?
She could see the way that I thought. And she like...
Do you think that there literally is a biology brain and a chemist brain? And do you think it's a personality or maybe...
I don't know. I
was like more on the line of behaviors versus personality. Is there one that drives more? Are you more analytical? Are you more, feeling those type of things? So that's what I'm saying. Like, does the brain that you're kind of born with kind of guide you in how you think and do things in some, well, I guess that is kind of true because if you look at any type of personality, there's some people that are more driven and better at certain things. Like you wouldn't put an introvert at knowingly into a job that deals with a lot of public, you know what I mean? That might be really uncomfortable for them. So you'd want to find like an extroverted person to do that thrives in that type of environment. So that's the only reason I was asking.
I think it has more to do with your ability and your capacity to store and retain knowledge. So how do you do that? Like some people can, again, if you're just to imagine in your head, some people can file things away in file cabinets, metaphorically speaking, and then go to that file. And some people have to throw all the papers on the ground and they have to walk over to the separate, again, metaphorically speaking. They save knowledge in a spatial way instead of like a file folder way. Everybody's different. And I think that in order to be a biology person, you have to be more of a spatial organizer. But you also have to go to that space and find the file folders and write down in it. But then with chemistry, you have to apply a logic to that landscape. And some people are unable to apply that level of logic because chemistry is just applied biology. And I think she was seeing that I had more in me than my biology background was leading me. So she convinced me to double major. And so I was doing the D2 sport. I was double majoring. And I had a boyfriend.
Good Lord.
And I was a rose of their fraternity for a little bit. So I was doing all that cookie baking shit. And here's your, I'm going to wear a skirt and here's your cookies. And I would show up at their meetings and I would be like, I made y'all a giant rug to hang in your frat house. And they were like, we love you and we'll come watch your soccer games. That was my college experience.
Oh, okay. So what'd your boyfriend, did he play any sports?
He was a golfer. Yeah, he was a pretty good golfer.
Nope.
His dad was a
sport.
Nope.
Is it not a sport? What? It's a sport?
It's a sport. My middle daughter is dating a golfer, and I already see where he's going with this.
And I don't agree with this relationship, by the way. He does, but I don't.
Why not? Why do you not ordain this relationship?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because he plays golf. What's
wrong with that?
I want him to go to work.
He works 7 days a week.
He shouldn't be working that much.
He dates my daughter.
Oh, dude. Hey, listen. Hey,
I'm just saying.
He dates your daughter. He has got to make money. Hey,
yep.
I apologize for everything I said.
This is also
money.
The truth. Yes, you must make good money to date.
Yeah.
To date a treadway.
Yeah.
He knows the drill.
Any treadway.
I gave him the warning when I first met him. I did.
And she's the most expensive treadway.
By far.
Yeah, she had Uggs on last night. My daughter got some $30
Uggs are expensive
knockoff.
now?
Oh my God, they're like $100. Right?
Can I just tell you, like I know you have a young son.
I do.
So as he gets older and he figures out things, that he'll just kind of give you his Christmas once, you know? Mom, this is kind of like what I'd like for Christmas. Mom, Dad, this is what I want. You'd be like, okay, this is good. I'm not going to get this. So I get that now. My oldest daughter gives me her list, right? I added up $300-ish. Not bad, right? Well within reason. Youngest daughter, also around $300. Well within reason.
Oh, boy.
I get to my middle daughter, almost $1,500.
Now, but she's worked, right? She understands the value of money, or does she literally not understand?
She is working, but she's kind of like, my money's my money, but I prefer to spend Dad's money than my money, so I can use my money for the things I want. Kind of under that.
So no shame then is what we're
no.
dealing with. It's just I'll give you this $1,500 list.
No, she'll give it to me, but then I looked at her like you're crazy.
Have you lost your mind?
Yeah.
You ask him that a lot.
Yeah. Look, have you lost your mind? And she's like, well, those are just ideas. You don't have to give me everything. But then she goes around the house on the high ticket items and reminds him, I would really like to have this Lululemon backpack because, and then she's the only kid though that sends a PowerPoint with hyperlinks.
Okay.
And justification.
Makes it easy. All right. You know what? She's already there.
I mean, she's
already there.
She can persuade very well because she can justify the need for it.
She's going to go far. That's true.
That's a good way to look.
I told her to be an attorney. Because she's already battling.
Yeah.
I want.
She's stuck on being a pilot, but I'm okay with that too.
So we went to a all-you-can-eat place yesterday, accidentally.
How's that happen?
Well, we just seen it, and then it was there. So we walked in. We didn't know it was all-you-can-eat at the time.
Go ahead.
There were no signs?
No, there was.
Okay.
Well,
I noticed that our pace picked up a little bit on the way there. Like, what are we doing? And then, Cliff's like, hey, that's all you can eat. Let's go.
I didn't eat that much, though. I mean, I didn't eat that much. I mean, I ate twice what you ate.
Nobody's judging you. It's okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
What did you just say?
Somebody doesn't judge me. Huh?
I
ate twice what you ate.
Yeah. Was it good, though?
Nah. We won't get into that. We already talked about it, but yeah, we won't get into it. It was all right.
Yeah, it was okay. It's a new place in St. Louis.
Too many veggies.
Brand new place. We tried it out.
I want to hear about it later.
Yeah.
Off camera.
Korean barbecue.
Yeah, called K-Pot.
Oh, okay.
You ever ate that?
Nope.
Have you heard about it? Yeah, you heard about it?
I heard about it from J-Town, didn't I?
Yeah, well, so you got to cook your own food.
Yeah.
Which sucks, dude, because you don't get, I mean,
but it says right there on the label, K-Pot. You're cooking it. When you go to a fondue place, you don't be like, all right, cook my fondue and bring it out to me when you
So what's K-pot mean?
Korean hot pot.
Oh,
it's a way of.
You knew that?
No.
Hello. Good morning. This is what that means. That's what the sign says. Read the sign.
Well, we did notice that there was a lot of warnings. Like as soon as we walked in, there was like, beware of salmonella. Beware of this. And he's like, do we really want to eat there with all the warnings? And we're like, hey, man, we're here. Let's ride the lightning. I don't know what's going to happen, but let's do it. And then there's you sit down and it's got this recessed cauldron in the center of the table.
Yeah.
And she comes up and she's like, what do you guys want? And I was like, where's the menu? And it was like literally broken down protein, sides, vegetables. And you tell me what you want and then you throw it in here.
For the record, I didn't order any vegetables. You did.
I did.
Yeah, I didn't order any of that shit.
I ordered mushrooms,
Okay.
onions, peppers, garlic, which didn't come in. It wasn't even minced. Like they give you the whole clove. But
They don't know how you want to eat it.
Well, here's the problem: is that the only utensil on the table is chopsticks. There's no flatware. Oh. So what are you supposed to do with this clove? Like eat it and then like spit it out there? There's like you're not. They don't set you up for success for the cooking process.
Could it perhaps just be for seasoning? Because don't most proteins taste better with peppers, onions, and garlic?
Oh, good point. Tell her about the salt and pepper.
Oh, yeah, there was no salt and pepper on the thing. So Mike goes and grabs these big salt and peppers and brings them to the table and sits them on the table. And then the woman was like, oh, you stole our salt and pepper. And then
I took it for the whole restaurant.
She brought us a couple bowls to put the salt and pepper in.
Yep.
It was good though. Even like I don't eat a lot of that stuff. Like I don't eat a lot of the mushrooms and stuff. These mushrooms are like,
Stop.
yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
Slightly phallic in nature.
They're long and skinny, but they're very small. I don't even know what they are, but they're like this long, and then they have a very tiny bloom on the top of it.
Oh, those are like enobi mushrooms.
Enobi, yeah.
I don't know if that's
those are called
probably
cliff
not right.
mushrooms.
Yes.
But yes.
We're like, walking
Sarah,
around being
what's-
insanely jealous.
Yeah, mess.
So we've successfully transitioned from biology only to dual majored.
Yeah.
And how's that working for us?
Well, we had a really cool physics teacher. His name was O-Dubs. He was an alcoholic. He so he drove like a little tiny Chevy S10 to school every day, and he drove it like a bat out of hell. Like, it was insane how he would take those corners nice and tight. But we could look out the physics window, which we did often because we ran experiments from the windows with pendulums, etc. And the whole bed of this truck was full of beer cans. The whole bed, like not just a thin layer. Like, he for sure was littering every single day, and yet it was full. Anyway, I learned a lot of physics from him, and the way that he talked and the way that he thought, I thought was really impressive. So adding that chemistry double major in there really changed the course of my life as well, because I think understanding physics is just paramount to understanding the universe around you. And I always want to ask why, and I'm always so stupidly curious. And if I go too long without asking someone a question or the internet a question, I lose my mind. And so, like, back then when the internet wasn't a big, huge thing, it was just resource after resource that I could find. And so I didn't necessarily pull books from the library, but I did a lot of my studying up there. But when I switched over to chemistry, my whole worldview changed, because when physics entered, the macro universe became understandable.
Now, explain that. So if somebody's what's a macro universe?
Like the universe at large. Like, why does a car crumple when it hits? Why do airbags work? Why do you break your leg when you fall out of a 2-story building but not an 8-foot height? Why do parachutes work? Why can you swim in water? Why does our body do the things that it does, and why does it get broken apart when it gets broken apart by things it gets broken apart by?
Yeah.
Well, when you get our age, that shit gets broke apart a lot quicker.
I get macroed a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of macro going on.
Me and macro are not friends.
So do you think that that's what sort of drove you to your lifestyle? Because you have a healthy lifestyle. I mean, do you think your knowledge of that sort of sets you up for your future?
Yeah, I knew it played a role in it. I knew that being willing and curious at understanding how things works really plays a role in it, because I made a really good metaphor in a presentation I did that you guys remember. Everyone here remembers what VCRs were.
Oh God,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So, for those of you that don't know, it's a rectangular box, a black box that has a slit in the front of it, and you put a smaller rectangular black box into the slit, and it makes a series of satisfying clicks, pops, and whirs. Right. And so there are some people who are satisfied shoving that little black rectangle in the big black rectangle and hitting play. And there are those of us.
Did it just get hot in here?
And there are those of us.
I don't know what we're talking about.
This is a VCR.
A VCR.
She just made it sound.
We're talking Blockbuster video. Let's go. Okay, keep going.
Go ahead.
VCR, yeah. And I just there are those people who liked to put the tape in and just hit play, and they had no problem. And there are those of us who really liked to put the tape in and wondered what all those noises were and what they did and why they did it. And I think that health and wellness right now, because there's so much noise and there's so much misinformation, that unless you're a person who likes to take apart the VCR, unless you're the person who wants to know why and wants to understand it and has the time and the knowledge to take it apart, then those secrets are withheld from you. And I think that everybody deserves to have that knowledge, and everybody deserves to have that fighting chance to fight for their health amidst the noise of craziness in health and medicine information. And I think I can be a really good voice.
Like a conduit for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because would you agree that the standard medical field right now is not set for us to be successful in terms of optimization?
I'm going to argue that it's the opposite.
Really? All right. First debate on the show.
All right, here we
I'm
go.
coming from a place where it is not but go ahead. Let's hear it.
I have no substantiated
all
theories. This is all high.
Yep.
I'm not trying to put anyone else in it.
No.
But I am a big believer in the big fish in a small pond. So I might be a big fish in this pond, but I am an incredibly tiny fish in the big pond of experts that are out there.
Yep.
And so I learned everything. I learned a large part of what I'm about to regurgitate to you from Huberman and his associated guests on his podcast. So Dr. Stacy Smith, Peter Attia. I've been reading their books and I've been watching their podcasts and listening to their podcasts, just hundreds of hours of them over the past few years. So that's where all my information comes from. But I am deeply concerned with, the state of medical affairs of this country. And I think that the profitability of medicine is you can't discount it. Right. And so it is not necessarily profitable to give healthcare and the responsibility of health back to the consumer, back to the person.
So we're actually in agreement. That's kind of what I'm getting at, is like the way that the system is set now, it's more just an algorithmic treatment method with pharmaceutical intervention. There's like, if you go to a well visit, and I'll give you an example, right? For most people, when they go to a doctor and say, hey, I want to have my hormones checked because I want to see if I have a hormone deficiency somewhere. If it's not indicated by a sign and symptom, they don't see any justification to order that test. So they won't. Like you have to, and this is where you have to advocate for yourself to get it done.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I mean, I agree wholeheartedly. I think, and it's a lot of, it's not their fault. They were taught that way. They were taught to symptomatically treat the downstream effects of these different metabolic disorders. Like if you want to parse any other specialty, of which there are hundreds now, every one of those specialties ends up just being the end branch of some metabolic disorder. It's some dysfunction at the cellular level. How is this cell not happy? Is it insulin resistant? Is it gummed up? Is it can it not talk? Is it infected with something? Is the blood not getting to it? Like what flavor of metabolic syndrome are you in that you're presenting with to this doctor? And then they'll treat you.
Yep.
But if you walk in and your labs are just a little high on this and just a little high on that, and of course those are based off the generalized population's norms over the past 2 years for that testing site. So let alone, like you could even argue their ranges, right? And I don't read labs, and I'm not a nurse, and I don't know how to do that. Like there are people far more skilled at that. But like there are these really huge red flags that you can pull from a simple set of metabolic blood tests, and doctors will not treat you until you present them with something. They won't treat you until you say, hey, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling terrible. This is a big shift. And the only thing they'll treat you with is a prescription, which you can write. I learned this. You can write prescriptions for food. You can write prescriptions for food, and they can buy the food with the money for the medicine.
I didn't know that.
Huh?
Please look this up, James. You can write prescriptions for food.
Well, I've seen I've seen prescriptions for fiber. I've seen prescriptions for vitamins and oils and stuff like that. But
omega-3s. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. But I've never seen like a specific food. Maybe I've seen prescription for a diet recommendation, like that would be referred to a nutritionist.
So I don't have any specifics on this. Again, this is just something that I caught secondhand. But
You are correct, Sarah.
Thank you.
So what
Is there a T-bone steak prescription?
I need chicken wings, please.
It can be written for produce and therapeutic diets.
Okay. Produce, I can see that.
It's improving the well-being of the human being.
So does
Thank
it
you.
save you money?
Well, it's gotta be on the grocery.
So if you have an HSA and MSA, or you have some other qualifiable health, like if you're setting money aside for that, you could spend that money on that food.
Oh,
on that
so like your
prescription.
health savings account?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So that's the benefit. You're kind of sidestepping, and you're doing a workaround to the expensive produce that's grown in good soil that has the excellent micronutrients in it, right? Which is incredibly expensive. Why? Because it's nutrient induced.
Here, James, what you showing us?
Yep. They can write
Sarah's
prescriptions.
answer to her question.
Thank you.
So, yep, produce prescriptions, therapeutic diets, medical tailored meals. So, yeah.
Dang.
So it's one thing, you have to go to your doctor and advocate for yourself, right?
Absolutely.
But you're also working with and against your doctor. If you've chosen the wrong doctor, it wouldn't matter what you said to them. They have an ego that does not allow you to get what you need because they've been taught a certain way. And that's fine. Everyone is entitled to their own heartfelt opinion. And some of these doctors really think they mean well. But the statistics about how many of us are obese, how gym memberships have like quadrupled since 2011, and yet obesity rates have gone through. So metabolic rates, the metabolic dysfunction, just in general, is going up.
Well,
going up. Like
I think it's a youth issue, and this is why. Is if you look at the eligible youth that can enter military service, it's single digit. We're youth, like we're a product of our society. So if you look at what's acceptable now, back in the day when we didn't have Xbox, PlayStation, internet, TikTok, Instagram, any of the socials, what did you do as a child? You were outside playing. You were constantly active until the street light came on and mom told you to come in. During the summertime, you were usually going from the first thing in the morning to the last thing at night. If you go into the youth of today, it is way more sedentary now.
You, it's okay. We all have our own health deficiencies. We all have our vices. We all have too much caffeine in our diet. Nobody gets perfect sleep. Everyone does wrong things. It happens to be that your wrong thing shows on you, but not everybody has wrong things that they do. That's all.
Does it show?
No.
Oh, thank you.
Not at all.
Thank you, buddy. I live in denial.
All right. So let's kind of go back. So like we were back there, like, so where did the interest in becoming a medical provider start coming in, since we're talking about doctors? So where did this interest start?
Yeah. So I wanted to go to medical school starting my second year, so sophomore year. And so that's hence the double major, the good grades, the studying, playing the D2 ball. I wanted to get in. So I was applying. I was asking my grandparents for money for these applications. I was writing applications, this, that, and the other. So they didn't let me in that junior year, and they didn't let me in that senior year. And so I graduated college and I found a job working as a chemist. And I felt this huge and overwhelming dissatisfaction with life. It was not enough for me. There was just not enough there. The days were too short. The weeks were too long. There was not enough sustenance for me. And so I felt this existential dread at 23, 24. I was like, I can't continue this. And so I started looking into graduate schools because my thirst for knowledge was not being quenched. I was studying for the MCAT and I was writing these really half-assed essays to try and get in because I didn't know what I wanted. I just kept rehashing the past. And I never gave them my promise for the future. And I started digging into where I could go. And so I ended up going to a graduate program at the School of Medicine here in South Carolina. And that's when I first learned about cell biology and the nuances and the intricacies of the cascades of these molecules that were cleaving and being cut apart and get thrown into their little cells and how that affected the system. And immunology, it was absolutely life-changing. And there was a man there, Shanda Shaker Patel. Shanda. He just wants us to call him Shaker. But I petitioned him via email before the program started, and I got in. And I was one of 15 people that graduated with a master's in biomedical sciences. So we took the same classes that future doctors would take. We took the same classes that anesthesiologists would take, right? So we were in the same graduate level classes with these guys and some medical students. We were practicing on their cadavers. And I felt then that I had the toolkit available to me to understand the rest of the universe from that. I had the study skills that I could dig deep into any other science or astrobiology or medicine that I wanted to. And I tried to use that then to get into medical school. And they still were like, nope, you don't pass the Gurney test. So
what's a Gurney test?
A Gurney test, which I was told flat out what I did not pass, is if you are a patient, if you imagine yourself a patient and you are scared and you're in pain, and you're lying on your back and you open your eyes and the first person that you see, I don't pass that test.
Who makes
what? What is that?
So it's a snap decision. It's a snap judgment test that some medical school interviewers use to color or paint the rest of their perception that they're bringing in about you. So if you walk in the room, you either fail or pass this Gurney test, and then the rest of the time you're either losing your pass or gaining your fail. And I never could gain,
It's okay.
You're good. You're good.
never could gain my fail, apparently.
Would I pass the gurney test?
Oh, absolutely.
If you look
Yeah,
up?
you're
Oh
very
my
kind.
God, yeah.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
I would feel comfortable
Like,
waking
let's
up.
hold on. Let's try this. Okay, I'm waking up.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Look at me.
Yep,
please.
hold on. I'm waking
All
up.
right, here we go.
I'm in a deep. Something bad's happened. I'm about to wake up. I'm opening my eyes and I look.
Hey, boo boo.
What's wrong with me?
I'm your 300-pound girlfriend, Bertha.
Did I just? Am I in the Wish.com of hospitals right now?
Your wish came true.
I'm your wish.
Yeah. Is this
I
the
would-
Temu version of healthcare?
What do you mean by that? Hey, man. I just asked y'all
Yeah,
about
it took 2 weeks to get here and it was $4.
Yeah, $4, and it's like half the size of what it's supposed to
My
be.
insurance company loves it here.
Oh, God.
So,
All right. Go
so we don't get the gurney test. So, like, is this? You kind of paint a picture like you are very successful. Like you do not like to fail. You are success driven. Is this the first time that you've reached like a severe like kind of challenge, or like not a fail, but maybe like the first time you had to come to something where you thought I'm very passionate about, but maybe based off of somebody else's opinion, this might not be for me.
Oh, I hadn't accepted failure at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I still thought that there was something in there. I am not used to failing. I injured my knee in high school. I recovered absolutely just fine. Like things that set the normal person back, I'm looking at in hindsight. I do not fail. So not having them let me in was a huge, why am I not good enough?
Yeah.
What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And it turns out I just was not meant to do that. If I had it all to do over again, there was a question that was asked me a while ago, what would you do over again? I should have joined the military. I missed my calling in that regard, probably. I love structure and order. And what I should have done when they didn't accept me that fourth time, what I did was I was like, I'm going to get my lip pierced and I'm going to look cool and I'm going to go hang out at night until 3 a.m. for like 6 months. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just walked into a recruiter's office and I'm like, take the wheel. Just send me somewhere new. That's what I should have done.
So what do you think? So that's one of your regrets is not joining the military?
Yeah, but I didn't come to that particular regret until more recently. I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that heat until more recently.
Because to me, like with your structure, I think you would probably do really well in the military.
Yeah. I think the Space Force would have been lucky to have you.
The
Yeah.
Space Force.
Well, they still will. Did you know that the age gap on that's not 42, and you can even age waiver out?
Oh,
Yeah, and they have a civilian sector as well.
Well, they're having some retention and recruiting issues right now. Like, I'm not trying to say
Space Force,
anything
right?
bad, but,
Sure, of course
but
they
the
are.
way the way that they're restructuring the program, like the perks, right? They're trying to save money, not from looking at spending on what they're spending money on, but they're taking it from personnel and HR type of perks, which is now like de-incentivizing. Like today, if I would have gone, I mean, we're all veterans that are sitting at this table.
Yes,
If I went up there today and said, hey, if I do 20 years, can I retire? They'll be like, yes, but you won't see any of that money till 65. I would be like, nope.
Well, that was one of the problems for me, and that's why I didn't stay in, because in the Guard, like you had to wait till you were 65 when
Yep.
I was in. So I was like, shit, I was smoking like 2 packs a day back then. I was like, shit, I ain't even gonna live till I'm 65.
Oh, bless it.
So
And the person that made this decision was a professor at Harvard that provided this recommendation to DOD that they accepted, saying that service members can have a successful second career without any type of measurable difficulties. So this, and I sent this person an email saying that like you are making a decision based off something you have absolutely no idea about.
Yeah.
So they accepted it, and now the program, even like when I first came in, they said, "Hey, you'll get free healthcare for the rest of your life." That was a lie. I still have to pay for healthcare, even though when I came in, the auspice was we will take care of you the rest of your life if you serve 20 years for your country. Not the case, and it happened while I was serving. So I think based off of that, a lot of the kids are like, there's just not enough there for me to do it. Like for some, it's a true calling. Like what's the 5 things? It's the TEAMS acronym, right? When you go to, it's teamwork, education, adventure, money, and service. Which one of these 5 things appeals to you? For a younger person. And some people, like I was a service. I just wanted to serve. Like regardless of what you're going to give me, I just want to serve and say I did my time. But for a lot of people, it's money.
Oh, serve as in serve the time, not serve as in serve the people.
Serve your country.
Oh, okay.
Give yourself to a higher purpose.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you. Yes.
So, but yeah, that's just not the case anymore. So
I think I joined for money.
you joined for money?
Well,
The National Guard?
listen, it was like a it was $2,500 signing bonus. I didn't know you had
That's
to
a
wait
lot.
till halfway through. Like you get like that seems like a lot of money at that time. I was dirt poor, man. I was like, man, I'm going to be rich, but shit, they make you wait. Half
Yeah,
your
you got to do like
service.
2/3 of
Yeah,
your.
and then they take it all in taxes. So
Yeah.
They spread it out over a series of payments.
yeah, it's like 2 payments, and then it's like half of what it was.
Wait, is that like what? That's not a signing bonus.
Yeah,
That's a stay-in bonus, then, isn't it? No, that's
Basically,
messed up.
well, no, they give you another one before you leave. Before you leave, they're like, "Hey, we got some extra money we'll give you if you stay in." You got something, James? You got it? No.
I only got one bonus.
I'm readjusting my earpiece. Sorry.
Oh.
I only got one bonus the whole time I was in. One.
How much?
25,000.
Oh well, shit! I would have done. that.
And the only reason why I got it is I re-enlisted while in Afghanistan. So it was in-country re-enlistment. And the only reason why I took it is because you were tax-free while deployed.
Oh yeah. I would have done. See, I would have done that because I'm poor. I would have done that.
Oh, dude, that set me up for coming back though. Like that's when I was just like Lon and I were just starting our lives together. So that like helped build the foundation for us to get going successfully. So,
Yep.
but that was it.
That's good.
Other
Thank
than
you for
that,
service. Thank you for serving my ability to choose all these nice freedoms.
I appreciate it.
I'm so lucky that I got born in this country thanks to people like you. Like I get to choose what I get to do as a female.
Well, I'm
Thank
under the
you.
auspice that you're very welcome. But I volunteered every time.
Yeah.
Nobody made me do it.
Yeah.
Like I always tell people, think of Vietnam vet that got drafted. Them dudes had no option.
Yeah, they had no option.
Yeah.
I had an option. But then when I went overseas, I was like, damn, dude, they feed us pretty good. And then, that's where I started getting fat, dude. I started getting fat in the military.
Was it that?
They have good cooks in the military?
Oh, no, not well, overseas they do.
As I understand
We
it,
ate
that's where the
lobster.
heaviers.
KBR is on point.
Okay.
Every Friday was surf and turf.
Oh, geez. Wow.
Every
Lucky
Friday.
dogs.
Yeah,
And you know
well,
what?
yeah.
What?
If you're still hungry, you can go right back through that line. Guess how much it cost you? Free. Well, not free, but 0.00.
And it was like 24 hours over.
Oh, yeah.
Like in Bosnia, man.
Oh, yeah.
You could get soup at late night, and they had the best soup. I love the soup.
Hold on.
I love
Hold on.
You,
everything.
you
That was
choose
bad.
soup to talk about?
Yeah, I was good. Like, here you are in a car. Hey, guys, this is a great mission. You want to go get some soup? Yes, let's talk about yeah, I was really scared down that road to deploy. Hold on. Oh, this is great. Little salt, a lot of soda.
Gonna hot wash over some
Yeah,
soup.
that's
Good
exactly right.
grief. Good.
What?
That sounds like an SNL skit if I really were to be pushed.
I'm just saying.
Wait, what kind of soup was it? That could really turn the corner of the story.
It was actually chili, not soup.
Okay.
Mm.
That's a little bit more. That's not soup.
Hey, when you're at an OP at like 2 a.m, James MP, that chili was awesome. Okay, it doesn't take much to please me.
Because it's a hot. Anything hot.
Anything hot, yeah.
I'm glad it warmed your soul, though. It stuck out in your mind.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you for telling us.
so then you choose. Okay, so you meet this boyfriend. You guys
Or on again, off again for 8 years.
Oh, my God. Make up your mind.
gracious, yeah.
Make up my mind
Yeah.
is the truth. Yeah. But yeah, should
Well, was he there through this process of like going through the gurney test and these 4 attempts and stuff like that? So he's
Yeah.
still kind of with you,
we're together, but I'm independent.
Okay.
kind of like on again, off again, or just kind of like you do you, I'll do me, and we'll link up every once in a while.
Yeah, so he lived in a small town. He lived in Penitensville, and then he moved to Florence for a job. And so I was making the choice to go visit him when I really should have been just sitting at a desk trying to figure out my life, like go for a long walk, come back, study, go for a long walk, come study. Instead, I was driving up there to just no, don't get me wrong. I love dove hunting. I saw the largest mosquitoes I'll ever see in a field in Bennettsville. And I learned how to duck hunt and fish. I learned a lot. Don't get me wrong. I'd never seen a cotton bale before then. There was a lot that I learned. I would trade it all in a second though for a larger set of different information. But yeah, he was just kind of there while I found out that I wanted to go back to graduate school. And then I kind of cut him loose. in graduate school. It was graduate school was a hectic time for me because I was still away from my parents. I was fully supporting myself 100%. And then I was working for the state, which at that time we went on furlough. So that was during 2008, the big recession. It was tough so I had a roommate, and, money was tough. And as a female, you're not going to clearly you're going to whore yourself out, but you got to do what you got to do. And having a boyfriend sometimes helps. So.
Yeah. So when did we start? So we get done with graduate school. When would we end up graduating with?
A master's of biomedical sciences in May of 2013. And then, so I met my husband while I was I'm in a cadaver lab, and I'm fascinated by going over the foot. And he sends me a text message, and he's like, we're riding bikes out on Fort Jackson. Do you want to come? And I was like, not literally, if you have a bike in your truck and you're driving past the medical school to go to the fort, I will come with you. And he was like, I can't make that happen.
Yeah.
I was like, well, catch me next weekend then. I finally have my priorities right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my husband is a pretty stellar guy. He knows how to win a girl over. So he kept at it. And then, so after I graduated, we ended up getting, he got me in the middle of school. And I wrote my master's with him. I wrote my thesis with him, bought me a big giant desk. And then got to just be a gamer for a while. He and I are big gamers. Well, we used to be back before we had a kid. But
what games?
we played a lot of Borderlands, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare.
Okay.
We dabble before it was commonplace to just get your ass handed to you by 12-year-olds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time.
Yep. Tell me if you haven't heard this before.
I got you. I'm about to teabag you, and you just said, "Chris my KB." Take that.
No,
Tell me that hasn't happened.
Well, yeah, I wasn't allowed to talk though. Because if I were to talk,
Oh, gamer girl.
oh my,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So he was the one that had the mic.
Yeah.
Is that a girl? Oh my God, that's a girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your email address? What's
Yeah.
your email address?
Hey, could I get you on Snap? What's your Snap?
Yeah. What's your snap? Send me a picture. Send me a picture.
Could-
You got video? What's your Twitch?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
People do that to me too. I feel you. Same way. Yeah.
No, I guess I'm just saying we spent our first, we did a lot of adventuring, but we spent our first few years just gaming, eating hot tamales and playing video games.
So how old is your kid now?
He's about to be 6.
Okay.
6. Yeah. And then that baby. Yeah. So then I just was like a mom and a wife there for a few years. And that was, you get lost in that real easy. That's kind of like a black hole, or you're close to the event horizon, a black hole like that. It's really hard to get out of that. But I did finally wade my way out of that.
Hey, well, we've gone over so much today. I think we need to break this into 2 parts. So thanks for doing this front portion. Everybody stay tuned for part 2 coming out. Thank you for listening to Everyday Heroes with Sarah. Have a great week and be blessed.
See ya.